Okay, it is I. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the last final day of our Ideathon. My name is Lorraine, and I just wanted to say a very big thank you to every single one of you who was part of the Ideathon, from our mentors to our participants and moderators. And as today is the last day, we just quickly wanted to highlight to you what is important to keep in mind today, because for today, all of your ideas should have been registered on Guana. And as today is also the last day, remember that today by 6:30 p.m. GMT +1, you should have completed and submitted your idea to your video to the YouTube link. Remember that the video you are to be submitting is a 2-minute long video that is clear and concise to the point and clearly explains the problem and the solution that you have identified, the implementation plan, the expected impact, and the team that will be working on the idea that you have highlighted. So remember that teams have to submit 1 form per team. And once again, I will reiterate that it needs to be a strictly 2-minute video uploaded on YouTube. Thank you all for your participation and good luck. I'll hand over now to my teammates who will give you a bit more detail about how to use Guana in order to submit your video and your idea if you have not done so already. Thank you.
Yes, good morning, everybody. Today is the final day. Everybody, make it count, do your best, improve your solutions, get ready. We are ready to support you all throughout the days. We have a big commitment, amazing commitment by everybody. It's incredible to see how passionate you all are, how constructive you cooperate together, how passionate you are in developing quality solutions. It's really, really been an amazing journey. Today, the last day, pull everything together, get it out there. Look what you need for in order to finalize your solution. Ask any of the organizers, mentors, or moderators if you need help. Everybody's there to support you. All hands on deck. Let's get it done, and let's get the best solutions submitted. I'm just talking very, very briefly on how to submit solutions. Florencia will follow up with a very detailed overview, and she will run you actually through the exact submission process. There was a pre-submission form. A lot of people have submitted it. It was really useful for us to show to internally to calculate what will be the submissions. It was helpful for you to get the teams together, etc. Now, as of this morning, we have posted the final submission form on Guana. Everybody who joins the same link on Guana is getting to the final submission form. Then you will be able to submit your final solution. To do so, please upload your video on YouTube first, copy this link from YouTube, and then go to Guana, register with your email if you haven't done so, and fill out the application or the solution submission for your team. 1 solution submission for team only. And in the solution submission form, we will ask you a few questions. You can then post the link for your YouTube video and you can submit it. First, YouTube, upload the video, 1 to 2 minutes. It can be any kind of video, any kind of content that you think helps support and helps clearly shape the message. Matija will come in the end of this call to give you some ideas on how this could look like and what you can do to improve it. And then once you have the YouTube video ready, go to Guana, fill out the form and submit it. Florencia is now taking over to run you through the exact process and show you on the screen how Guana will look like. If you have questions while you do it, please don't hesitate to ask on Slack anybody with a prefix org or mentor or moderator, or post it in the channel Lost. Florencia, go for it.
Yeah, let me just tell you, please go to slido.com and put in the link 16155 if you have any questions. And one thing I want to stress, which is really important, the submission you handed in yesterday was the pre-submission, and some of you already uploaded a video. yeah, that doesn't count as a full submission. The final submission is up to date. Yeah, we just opened it. So now you can go submit your submit all the criteria for evaluation, answer all the questions we have there for you, and then upload the video. So every team needs to do it. It's very important to understand. Every team needs to do it, no matter if you uploaded it yesterday already or not. So and now my colleague Florencia will guide through the process of how to submit the whole evaluation process.
Sorry. Hello, everyone. Yeah, so I'm here to guide you a bit through the process of project submission. So first you have to go to Guana website, which is, I'm going to share my screen first, and I'm going to show you exactly how to do it. So here we are on the Guana website, which is www.guana, which is GUAANA.com, org Africa versus virus. Here you have a brief introduction that tells you the key points that your final pitch need to have so that you can focus on it. You have it in English, you have it in French, and then we have the list of challenge topics, the themes. Those are the 9 initial themes that the ideathon was based on. So you have to select the theme and which you worked. So for instance, let's go to business as an economy. You have to click on it. You have again the explanation, what it is, some ideas. This ended up being the categories under which we grouped all of your 3,000 challenge submissions. In this case, you also have it in Portuguese, you have it in French. So all the explanation, and you click Let's Get Started. With Let's Get Started, you initiate the submission process. Edit proposal, because I had already started. Here you have again the introduction. Proposal, you have to put a title here, which is for those of you who have submitted the registration. You should use the same title so that we're able to find it. Topic, you have to describe the problem. So here we have a few questions to help you guide it, and at the end we indicate the evaluation criteria, so the weight that the question has. Here we have the solution description. The same again, with questions to help you guide it, and we tell you how much it weighs. We have been sharing an image showing the different scores and the different weight of the evaluation criteria, so that you will see, but for projects that are for profit, the solution description weighs 30%. For projects that are non-for-profit, it's 40%. So that is basically so that you can understand that if you have your idea is to turn your project into a business, what is important here is also your plan, how you plan to implement it, the team that you have, whereas for non-for-profit solutions, we're focusing on the solution itself. Then we can work more on finding teams or refining teams if you need help, if you cannot work on it, but it's focusing on the solution. The key here is that we have the main topic, questions to help you guide it, and the evaluation criteria so that you know exactly which questions have more weight. Here, is it a for-profit or non-profit solution? You have to complete it, type here. Number 4, describe your implementation plan. This is very important. Here, you have to describe the different steps that you need to take to implement your project. A timeline, whether it's a project that could be started tomorrow, or that you need a bit more time. Whether it is a solution that should be out soon and for a short period of time, or if it's a long-term solution. It could be, for instance, a long-term solution to track pandemics in general, not only coronavirus, or a measure that could be put in place for the long term. Versus one that could be in place for a very short time right now, like an emergency solution, for instance. Then we have number 5. We have to describe the expected impact of your solution, again, with the evaluation criteria, 20 points. Describe the impact is what you expect could happen after you implement your solution. So who are the target, who is the target population, how you could affect their livelihoods, and basically describe what could be the outcome of implementing your project. Then you have to describe your team. As I said, you have to name all the team members and the roles and describe any relevant experience that they might have. Again, there's a difference in non-profit and for-profit solutions. This is because we know that in many cases, the participants came to the Ideathon with an already thought through idea. So you had a project that maybe you were working on with your company or with colleagues. And in that case, most of you already have a team. So we're giving more weight to those who will be implementing a business or making a business out of this. Whereas in the case of people that are making non-profit solutions, and in most cases, people are coming together and ideating here, and they're developing what could be considered a public good. In those cases, the team is, of course, relevant, but we want to focus more on the solution that you came up during this weekend. So we will be evaluating non-profit solutions on the one hand and for-profit solutions on the other hand. That explains the difference in the percentage and the different questions, but don't worry because you have all the information in the form. It's very clear, very transparent. The evaluation criteria are there, so you can easily find it. Number 7, you have to click yes or no. Was this an existing solution you were already working on before the Ideathon? Number 8, would the team be ready and available to implement the solution? These questions will not be evaluated. We just need to know whether your team would be interested in implementing the solution or whether your team just participated in the ideation process and would be happy to give the implementation to someone else. This could be because maybe you have a full-time job and you cannot take care of this, or simply because you like to plan the idea but do not have the time or are not willing to go through with it. That is totally fine. If your solution is one of the best ones, we will make sure that we find someone else to implement it, but always keeping the original team as the owner of the idea. So all of you will retain ownerships of your projects. You can decide or not whether you want to take part in the implementation or not. Then you have the possibility to include all relevant links and resources. So any links that you may have used, if you are creating a website, you can include the link. I know that there's a project in which they are creating a website. I saw it. It was really advanced, so this would be the field to complete it or to include it. And then a link to your 1 or 2 minute pitch video. Here, in 2 minutes, you have to explain what your project is about. You should base your video on these questions because this is what we want to hear. What is the problem? What is your solution? What is your implementation plan? Who will implement it? The video, it can be someone talking or it can be an animation. That is entirely up to you. We're not giving any guidelines of that sort. You can do it as you think, in the way that you think is best for your solution. Solutions are very, very different, and people are working on a diverse range of projects, so different videos would suit different projects. That is up to you to decide. If you need help uploading your video to YouTube, in the channel announcements, one of the first channels we posted messages, we posted a series of resources that you could use. One of them is a guide on how to upload a video to YouTube. Finally, the last question, number 11, you can add any presentations that you have. And here you can add a PowerPoint, you can add a PDF. So basically any supporting documents that you might have can be uploaded through here. If for any reason you cannot make a video to YouTube, make a video and upload it to YouTube, or simply make a video, you can upload a presentation instead, a PowerPoint presentation. Ideally, all of you should upload a video, but if someone can't do it, this is not going to be a requirement. We're not going to reject any submissions because of technology problems or lack of a possibility to do it. We want all of you to participate and we want to read all of your ideas. So if that would be a problem, you can attach a presentation and that would also be fine. And finally, once you completed all the questions, you hit submit. Once you hit submit, we get your project idea and and that's it. And you've already submitted your final pitch. You already made your video. You met people. You networked a lot, and you learned a lot. And hopefully, you had a lot of fun. So I'm gonna give my colleague Mattia will continue now, and he will tell you exactly how to improve your pitch. Mattia?
Hi, everyone. Super excited to be part of this challenge. I took a few minutes to take you through the structure of the pitch. This is important because you spend so much time developing this and collaborating with our team members, and it's crucial to get the detail right in getting the best chance of getting your idea advanced. I'll take it from where Florencia left in terms of creating detail on the structure, and I'll address 6 key points about the structure and the content of the pitch. Especially those doing videos for YouTube, it's important for you to have the right kind of structure to get a message across in the shortest time possible. The first, the problem statement. It's very important that you state clearly what exactly you are solving for. Use data, numbers, and quote your sources where possible. And the idea is to aim for either a shock or a sense of awe, aha moment, for people to realize the impact of the problem you're trying to solve for. Number 2, on your solution, be clear on exactly what your solution is, how it addresses the challenge, and also point to any early evidence that exists already, or if possible, where examples elsewhere, if not in your setting, have shown any kind of traction. Number 3, on the business model itself, give a sense of scale and the opportunity, any partnerships you would intend to look for, the kind of distribution you'd be looking to get, pricing where possible, and your target market generally. Be very clear about your go-to-market strategy looks like, and especially how you reach those who you intend the solution to get for. Number 4, when it comes to your team, give us a very clear sense of their experience, how they're suitable for the project or the team, and how the experience complement each other. And number 5, when you come to the ask, be exactly clear what resources you need, whether they're financial or non-financial, what are the key milestones you attach to each of these resources, and give us a sense of what success will look for you in the preceding few months. The 6th point, try a storyline to the facts. Facts might give us the detail, but a storyline that personifies the solution and the problem will help convince people and draw them to your side. So I think to summarize, be brief in terms of what you want to tell us, stick on clarity, be very clear about the solutions you're proposing, and focus on the impact and how it transforms the lives of those who will adopt and use your products. Thank you.
Okay, some of you have asked a few questions on Slido. So we're gonna go through some of them.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see the most important ones, or the ones that have been repeated the most. So someone was asking whether the solution should be for the whole of Africa or if it can be for the countries of the team members. So we're not constraining you. You can, if you think that your solution is better for the whole continent, it would be easier possibly if you have it first for a few countries, because you know better the market, you know what happens, you know what the needs are, but that is entirely up to you. We're not giving any guidelines. You don't have as a requirement to submit a solution for the whole continent, nor a series of countries. It doesn't even have to be an entire country. It can be a solution for a community. So that is up to you, and it really depends on the nature of the project. What I can tell you is that there are no guidelines for that. It can be a solution for a community, for a neighborhood, for a city, for a country, or for a continent. That is entirely up to you, and you will not be judged on that. That said, once if your solution should win and it should be applied to one country, if we see or other funders see that it could be scalable and applied in other places, that can always be reviewed, and it can always be done. Sometimes it's better to just, instead of going so big, to test a solution in a smaller market and then scale it. I don't know, maybe Mattia, you have something to say about this?
Yes. The idea here is that we need to not only get the right ideas, but they should be contextual. So it's okay to have a sense of what to do work in a very small area, and then what your sense of team for scale would look like. I remember you always start small, and it's okay to have big ideas, but I think about what your minimum viable product will look like and what your proof of concept stage will need to be. Also, the focus here at this time and stage is that we're not looking for necessarily the best ideas, but the most probable. Remember, you have a team of experts who will help bring the ideas along, and it's okay to come and say it's not fully formed, but it's the early stages of doing any ideation. So I think as you submit and refine your pitches in this stage, keep in mind that we all come from different contexts, and that needs to come through. And the fact that we have a wide pool of professional experience, leverage on each other, lean on these resources to improve the quality of information, to build networks, and then take it even post this hackathon to implement the solutions.
Yeah. Very good. I have a question from YouTube. Mashak asked if the business canvas shown yesterday is a serious criteria, and maybe Ada, you want to answer this question? Okay. Matthias, do you want to elaborate on this? Because as we said yesterday, just to give a short intro, there are many different forms of solutions. Yeah. So the business canvas is not the only criteria, and Matthias will tell you now which others one are possible as well. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So yes. So thanks, Daniel. Yes, you're right. So we provided the business model canvas as a way to help structure initial thoughts. But there are many different approaches to it. Today, we could use, for example, the impact model canvas. Be familiar with it. You could use the Kanban if you're familiar with it. You could use the lean startup model, for example, if you're familiar with it. The idea is to have a structured way of placing your ideas that ties the resources and inputs you need and the impact and product development you need to do. So look at it more as a guideline, but there are a lot of business resources and tools out there. As long as it's clear what your problem statement is, the solution you want to give, your path to scale, your team members, and a sense of what you need in terms of an ask, we're happy to consider that in terms of quality.
Yeah, thank you. Very good point. And another question we got was about the Slack workspace. And we have great news. We have been in contact with the CEO of Slack, and the Slack workspace will stay at least open for 2 more months. As we said, this is just a start of this amazing journey, and you will be able to start your the continuation of your idea on the platform. Yeah, we might do like an outline, a new outline of a channel structure, but as for now, we can say that the Slack will stay open. Yeah.
Someone was asking, what if collaborators split up for multiple solutions? Will this help us or not? Well, that really depends on what you consider as collaborator. If collaborator is a mentor or a moderator, that is fine. Mentors and moderators are here in this process to help you through the ideathon, to help you discuss your solutions, to help you improve your solutions, to help you form your teams, to give you feedback on the development of your solutions. So mentors and moderators can contribute in different solutions, but if by collaborator you mean a team member, team members should stick to one project. It's important that team members help you throughout this weekend and not just send one message and forget about it. And I'm saying this because many of you have come to ask whether you had to include as team members have to include every person in the channel as team member. No, teams should be formed and team members should contribute to the development of the solution. If you created a general channel and many people joined, but then they didn't participate, they didn't really contribute in the development of the solution. It's really important that you divide tasks among each other, that each person has a role, and that you all contribute to the development of the solution. At the end, solutions will be implemented, teams will get different awards. In many cases, there are technical support programs, in-kind prices. So there's really a lot of support, and it wouldn't make sense to include people that didn't contribute to the process. The idea of this was to co-create solutions together. So that's what has to happen. We have to do it together. If someone does not participate, that person did not create or did not ideate the solution that you're proposing here. I don't know if someone else wants to add something in this regard.
Yes, I think I'll probably add that this must be looked at in terms of a long-term plan. I know a lot of you just met on the challenge, that's okay, but I think it's very important to have this conversation at the start in terms of how much time commitment people can give to the project, and a sense of how much they're willing to give in terms of time, especially time and a contribution to running projects. I think as soon as possible, when you have a sense of your go-to-market strategy of implementation of project plan, discuss this with team members in terms of what the requirements for each person will be, and if there's need, for example, at some point to make transition in terms of getting staff on board or extra capacity to boost it. This is crucial so that you don't have misalignments later on, especially for those who might proceed, and also that when you get a sense of a team forming, you're able to roll it out potentially at scale, and have the resources of our networks behind you. So I think have those conversations now, dry out those areas, remove all those bottlenecks, and hopefully so that we move forward, it's a smooth sailing as we move ahead.
Yeah, thank you very much. That was a great explanation. And so here coming a lot of questions in about the implementation process. And please understand that we will answer all questions about that tonight. But on this update call, we are just focusing on how to submit and explain the evaluation criteria, because this is the ground for your submission to be realized. Yeah, so that's as Mattia and Florencia mentioned, now the most important foundation of your idea, and any form of realization of the submission, and who is going to support what is a long process which we can't answer yet. And I think Florencia mentioned that already, but maybe you can elaborate a little bit more on that, and maybe also Matthias, how such a process could look like, or why it's so complicated to give a clear answer about that now. Yeah, so for now, it's just about the evaluation of your project, and the submission we will give an outline tonight. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. Let's just now focus on the task. Tomorrow we will discuss this further, but now it's really important that you all get the idea and understand what is happening. But now I saw another question on YouTube that I wanted to discuss. Someone was asking whether it's necessary to team up or collaborate with people that are not from your local community or from Africa. No, you don't have to. You don't have to collab. You're not forced, let's say, to collaborate with anyone. You can have a team only with members of your community. It can be your neighbor. It can be your brother. It can be someone from another country. Anyone. So the reason why we created this platform, the Ideathon, and we invited you all to Slack, was to have access to a lot of people from different countries, different sectors, different ages. You're free to talk to whoever you want. You're also free to just talk to your team. That is entirely up to you. Does anyone would like to add something on this regard, or have you seen any other question that we could address now?
No, not from my side, but maybe Ada, you would like to say a few closing words or comment on these questions?
One last question. Someone says that Hector Chirimani says that he has a team of over 9 countries, and he asks if they're submitting as individuals. No, you're submitting as a team. Each team has to complete one final submission form. So you're working together. So some people or someone came up with an idea, pitched the idea, and team members contributed. So you're a team. So there's that solution belongs to the team, to everyone who contributed. So only one submission per team. This is not to be done individually.
Mm. Yeah, and it's exactly as Matthias said, it's about the impact of the solution and how the long-term consequences may look like. Yeah, some can be implemented immediately because of the serious consequences of the pandemic COVID-19. So we need to also take this into consideration of how fast it might spread. Yeah, but for others, the more systemic approach is also an issue we take into consideration. However, here's a question: can mentors submit any submission? Well, please go and follow the criteria, the submission process Florencia just described, and you will see that you will answer. It will take you through all answers. Okay, now a lot more question coming in, and just to be really clear, every team needs to resubmit again. This yesterday was just a pre-submission. Today is the final submission. So please go through this process and contact us on Slack, yeah, or post questions in your moderator channel, which we also look at and reach out to us personally, because that's what I think we are going to do. Yeah. Just a question, Florencia, which is important about the team submission. How will be team members recognized in this platform?
So there is a question that is about team members.
Exactly.
So when you submit, one person submits, and it's done with an email account. But that person who submits needs to list all the participants that were part of the team. As I said earlier, this does not mean everyone in the channel. This means all the participants that had a clear role in the development of the solution and that contributed. So that this means that you guys have to have had or will do it now until 6 p.m. You need to distribute tasks clearly. You need to know exactly what person is doing, what each person is doing, and members have to have a role. It's not just being part of the channel and then that's it. So in this final submission form, there is a question about team members. You have to list the names, their roles, and the expertise that they're bringing. So please complete that, because that is really important. We need to give ownership to all the members that develop the solution, and that is the way to do it. So do not forget to do that.
Yeah, and submissions are open now. So here's the question: when they can submit. So you can submit right now your idea, or until the deadline tonight at 6 p.m. GMT +1. So yeah, here's again, I will post the link in the website on YouTube. Yeah, so you can go there and start the submission process. Again, it's not the one who is submitting is not the team lead. It can be the challenge owner, but who of you is submitting is really not the most important question. Please don't focus on team structures at the moment. Focus on the impact your solution has. Yeah, because there might be joint ventures, there might be acceleration programs, there might come up there might be different solutions created where new structures will be formed. As for now, I only can recommend you focus on what Matthias and Florencia just mapped out as a way to submit the criterias. for your challenges and ideas, and this is the most important. So there's no time now to talk about team structures or ownership as for that who is submitting. If you are a team, submit as a team, and this will be the submission will be the basement of evaluation. And not who handed in what. I mean, maybe Matthias, you want to collaborate on that.
Yeah, I think one of the most useful documents teams can come up with and bring alongside the submission is the activity plan or project plan that spells out what you want to do in the next 6 months or a year, that clearly shows what each team member is going to do. So that will focus you more on the execution side of the project and less about team composition. So I think that should be a very useful document to accompany your general pitch or your general submissions, because you'd like to see a sense of what this looks like in the next 6 to 9 months or to a year, and what each team member is going to do. Remember, at this stage, this could evolve. It could be that for those who progress, there are some changes that might be suggested, either in approach or in team composition, and there must exist that flexibility. So the general guideline, focus on the execution side, see how practical it is to do it in the time which you want to allocate. Focus more on what skill sets team members bring to the team, and a sense of timelines in what you think the activities that are required to make this happen. Yeah.
Okay, I think I mean, I don't know what we should do. Should we stay here and answer the questions, or should I think it's more useful if we go back on Slack and answer the questions in the channel right now?
Yeah, I think so.
Maybe we can stay. I will just scan one more time the questions on YouTube, and but I think
I see that someone was asking if all solutions must be for profit. No, not at all. So we will divide different solutions. On the one hand, the ones are for profit, that is the people that plan to make your solution or turn your solution into a business. And those of you who do not plan on doing that, we're only planning on implementing a project that will not bring you any money. That is okay. Both solutions are fine. We will evaluate them differently. And if you check out the evaluation form on Goanna, you will see that the 2 different kinds of solutions also have different evaluation criteria. So the questions are the same, but the questions are weighed differently. If you have, if you're trying to make a for-profit solution, you really have to describe your team, the implementation plan. It has to be in a lot of detail. Whereas if it's a not-for-profit solution, we will focus more on the development of the solution itself, how you describe the solution, what you want to do, the impact of your solution. But go ahead and check out the final submission form on Goanna. Yes, Daniel?
Yeah, Victor is asking very good questions for his team, very urgent, and I think because it's affecting all of you. So are we going to submit both a pitch deck and a video, or either or both? Yeah. Yes.
Well, that Daniel, you can say something.
Yeah. No. Okay. Good. Yeah. So we prefer a video if you can map out your solution, but we are inclusive. If people have some technical issues or can't talk or can't impress themselves, it can be either a video or it can be a pitch or a slide deck. Yeah, maybe Mathieu, you can say about the presentation process more of what are the possibilities, because for us important are that these 8 criteria Florencia mentioned, are matched, and how you do it, it's up to you. So it doesn't need to be a video. It's not like a required, but it can be a video or a pitch deck. I don't know if you know other forms, Mathieu.
I think yes. So what we are focused on is how we allow you to present your ideas in the most convenient form to you, and one that is accessible to you in your situation and where you are. So the pitch deck is good because it captures everything in a very simplified way. The videos, on the other hand, are very powerful in terms of communicating. But I think what is important to maintain the structure of the things you talked about, that you're very clear about your problem statements, very clear about your solution, very clear about how you scale it in terms of whether business or impact, your team members' capabilities and how they blend together to deliver, and what your ask is. And I think in all of them, you can weave your story through. And I think communication here is the most crucial aspect. If you define them to make sure there's brief, there's clarity, and the impact is clear, any mode you choose to submit should be fine.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and how, yeah, to just oh,
I think you froze, Daniel.
can one see it?
Yes. Oh,
Yeah,
you're showing
okay.
your screen.
Yeah. Okay. Florencia, and can you still see it or not?
No.
Yeah. Okay. I need to stop it, but maybe you can share it because I have some technical issues.
Let me see. Let me try to find it. 1 second, guys. Okay. My screen now. Okay, there you go. So here is the final submission. You have the evaluation criteria here, and you can see when a criteria weighs more for for-profit solutions or non-profit solutions. As you can see here, so problem description, solution description, implementation plan, impact, team, and we also ask if extra information that will not be evaluated, but it's important for us to understand the nature of the project and how to move forward. This is whether it is a for-profit or non-profit solution, whether it was a solution that you were working on before the Ideathon, and whether the team would be ready and available to implement the solution after the Ideathon. Some of you might be willing and might be expecting to work on the implementation of the solution, and some of you are only here to come up with brilliant ideas, and then you continue with your regular jobs or whatever it is that you do. So don't worry, both situations are totally acceptable. You will not be graded on that. You will not be scored. We just need to know how to prepare for the implementation phase. And then you have here the deliverables, which is the 2 or 3 minute pitch video, the final project submission. And if you have documents, any supporting documents, such as a presentation, PowerPoint or Word documents, whatever it is that you have that can help us understand more your project, you're free to attach it on Guana. Everything has to be done on the same form. The video, you just have to provide the link to the video so that we can find it. But that's it. If you have any questions about the evaluation criteria, please let us know. But these are the topics in which you should focus today. Make sure that your answers to these questions are detailed and understandable, and that basically you have to sell your pitch. You have to make sure that we understand what your project is about, and you have to tell us why this is the best solution and why this solution should move on to the implementation phase. Daniel, Maciej, can you see any questions on this regard? If I leave it, I go check the questions. I'm showing my screen, so maybe someone can do it, and I keep this image here in case someone needs to see it.
Yeah, there's a question on profit and non-profit. I think I'd like to add that what is key is for you to show sustainability in the project, whether or not it's for profit or non-profit. Obviously, for that, profit around how you will do your customer acquisition, how you will price, and how ultimately you keep the revenue coming in. For the non-profit, sustainability is around how you create more impact over time and the partnerships you create. So the common link between the two is that they each must show sustainability on themselves. And therefore, whichever path you choose, you must give thought on how you express the idea that it becomes sustainable after it's launched.
Yeah. Okay.
Mattia, just another one that I was seeing come up quite a bit. They were just asking you to clarify a bit more on the implementation plan. Just if you can go over that one more time for those who have missed it.
Sure, absolutely. So what you're saying is that all plans need to have a sense of execution, because ultimately plans only become realistic if you can see a sense of how things actually get done. So it's okay if you don't have a full picture of what things look like, let's say beyond 6 months, but at least you should have an idea of what could happen if everything you needed right now was provided. So remember, there's an ask at the end of your pitch. It could be asking for financial resources. And if this avail to do, what is the plan? So the go-to-market strategy we'll discuss needs to tie milestones to resources. And this is why we insist that where possible, you need to attach as part of your submission at least a 6-month activity plan. This will help us understand the roles the teams are playing, understand how you prioritize the different activities in your solution, and ultimately how much commitment in terms of resources and both human and financial you require to get it done. So it must be a team discussion. You must think through. It's okay to state areas where either you have gaps because of knowledge or resources or require extra input. But I think having a sense of what that timeline looks like would be very important from a project management perspective, and also from the team perspective, understanding the time requirements each team member will require.
Yeah. Thank you. Good. Any more questions? Let me just check Slido again. Yeah. So.
Someone was asking my screen. Someone was asking if there's a particular channel for to upload the video. No, you can create an account yourself and upload it. If you go to the announcement channel on Slack, one of the first messages is a link to a guideline on how to upload your video to YouTube. We can share it again in the announcement channel, so then we will add the whole channel so that everyone gets a notification. And there we will post again the image of the evaluation criteria, all the information that you have to include in your final submission form, as well as a link explaining you how to upload the video to YouTube.
Yeah, but we will also elaborate on that later, because I think once we evaluate all projects, or once projects been all evaluated, it's possible also to put them on a YouTube list so everybody can see all projects. Yeah. But we will figure out how you can have like a whole hub to see what other teams have been doing. So that's a good question. Yeah. Okay, but for today, please, I can only repeat what I've been saying already 4 times. But please, every team, go and submit now. If you have done it yesterday, or even today early in the morning, that doesn't count. It was only a pre-submission. Yeah. What is important is what counts after this call. I don't know what time did we went live with the platform, Florencia?
What time? What do you mean?
What time was the final version live?
But what
the Guana platform for the final submission. When was it live?
Around 8 a.m.
Okay, so it was live around 8 a.m. So everything since 8 a.m. is a final submission. Yeah, everything you submitted before. Also, the questions are totally different. Yeah, it's not the submission. Yeah, because the criteria are not on there. It was just an expression of interest we wanted from you. Yeah, and now the final submission starts because we got a lot of questions. Yeah, the expression of interest you handed in yesterday, mainly until, or also tonight. Yeah, until 8 p.m. 8 a.m. or 7 GMT plus 1, yeah, were still only 4 points, and those 4 points were only expression of interest. And now the final version with all submission criteria and implementation criteria starting are open, and therefore everybody, yeah, needs to understand that they need to do it today until 6:30 GMT plus 1. Please do so. Yeah.
Okay. I think that's it for today. We're all now going to be on Slack answering all your questions. There are a lot of participants, so be patient if it takes us a while to respond, but we're doing our best. And we have people monitoring all channels and answering questions. So if you have any doubts, please ask them on Slack. And if anything, you have our names as well, so you can address us.
Yeah, and so see you at the closing ceremony tonight. And sorry for being a little technical today, but it's really important. And tonight will be the celebration time. Yeah, so thanks everybody for participating, and yeah, we will see you tonight. Yeah.
Have a good day and enjoy yourself, everybody.
Enjoy.
Bye, everyone. Cheers.
Have fun. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.